Being trans, in my experience, feels incoherent. Every odd is stacked against you, every thought you have is either bashing on your existence or a small win. Sometimes it's, you will never look like a girl, but you did a good job with that makeup. It's like you're being hit back and forth across a ping pong table. It's disorienting, confusing, nonsensical, and yet beautiful. It's pretty hard to keep moving forward at first when progress feels so minuscule. But when those small wins hit, not only do they accumulate, but they feel so gratifying. It motivates you. Because despite any odds, whether that's your family, living situation, or the literal fucking government, you must keep trying. Transitioning isn't a matter of wanting. For example, you can want McDonald's. I don't just want to be a different gender, I need to be. My brain, my heart, my body all tell me that's who I am, who I need to be. And before you can get there, you feel helpless. Forced to live life through means you find uncomfortable. My journey has been a complicated one, and I'm sure that goes for many other people like me. I'm 19. I start college in September, but my first thoughts of transitioning came to me way back in 6th grade. I didn't know what to do. I don't even think I knew what being transgender was. That sounds naive, but I grew up in a Republican household, and I'm not sure when, but my earliest memory of a transgender individual was someone or multiple people in my family making fun of a girl on TV for being trans. It's not a memory I remember vividly, but a vague one that stuck with me. So, as you could probably imagine, realizing I didn't feel comfortable in my body was truly bizarre. I had always been confident in myself before that. I mean, I was the fastest kid in my elementary school, and that achievement is bar none the most prestigious anyone can have. I had lots of friends, was confident in my appearance, and was pretty good at video games. Literally everything any kid could need. Having such a large perspective shift at a young age, it was like walking into that house in Undella Town. However, it only really started as thoughts. I played around with the idea a bit, learned whatever I could, and kinda just kept it like that. Only a possibility. That was until the lockdown was the perfect chance for me to wake up, essentially. I was in 7th grade now, so about a year had passed, and a golden opportunity of self discovery was handed to me on a silver platter. I got super involved in Minecraft, Discord, and the online space as a whole. I was watching the Dream SMP and getting into that community a bit. I was extending an arm out into more open spaces. It was around this time where I started to get exposed to people from all different walks of life. And due to that, where I really started to understand myself a bit better. Let me break it down for you. This was my Minecraft skin in 2020. And this was it a year later. I think it's safe to assume what was going on. My friends started to deem me a femboy, and I kinda just owned it. None of them meant it in like a mean way, but they had noticed a change in me enough to give me a different title. All of that culminated around fall of 2021, where we went from baby steps to first words, per se. This is when I found my chosen name, Sadie. Something that I always find funny is how this name became my favorite. It originated as a duo name with my friend who, while we don't talk much anymore, I decided to stick to it, because not only did I still like it, it just felt right, considering how it was the first name I settled on. And that friend did help me understand myself when I was still toying with the idea. So if you know Total Drama Island, you'll know there's 2 girls named Sadie and Katie. So yes, my chosen name originates from Total Drama Island. And with my Minecraft skin changing one more time and finding a name that I really loved, I decided to go all in. I told all my friends that I would suddenly be going by Sadie and using she/her pronouns. They all totally understood and tried their best. It was really heartwarming, and even if they did slip up, I didn't care so much because every time they would apologize and correct themselves. And that persisted for a good while. Unfortunately, as time went on, it started to become apparent to me that lockdown wasn't going to last forever. Maybe it was naivety, or blissful ignorance, but whatever it was didn't prepare me for what comes after the online stage. As lockdown came to an end, I started to get a little worried. I had to go back to school in person, and I couldn't live this secluded life that I had become accustomed to. I had no idea what to do, so I hid. I didn't want to face the potential embarrassment or ridicule that would ensue if I started trying to tell everyone in person how I really felt. I ended up leaning towards any pronouns online, and in person didn't bother to do anything about my identity. Not only was it fear because of my peers at school, but throughout everything that happened in 2020 to 2021, I had yet to really tell my mom anything other than that I was bisexual, which she didn't take as well as I would have hoped, so thinking of telling her more was worrying to say the very least. This is how things went for a while. I pushed down my feelings for a long, long time. There were small moments of joy for me when someone would use pronouns that weren't he, him on me, or even the few friends who just still called me Sadie despite me defaulting back to my old IG and Froste after everything that had happened. I still preferred female characters in games and would actively avoid playing male characters at all costs. I would base my entire personality around female characters that I liked in anime, games, or shows, and still kept up with my femboy persona online, although I'd say to a more mature or refined extent than some people on the internet nowadays. The baseline was still all there, but I had been trying to convince myself that this was pretty much it for me. This was as far as it would go. And shortly after that, the world gave me seemingly a negative answer. After my freshman year of high school, which was the year I started to push away my feelings, I also had to move away from the town of my childhood. While I didn't go too far, I moved far enough away to where I ended up in a new school and my friends weren't close enough to see me easily. While at first I was optimistic to try and meet new people, I quickly realized I was not the socially outgoing type in an unfamiliar environment, and I became very reserved. The stretch from 2022 to early 2024 was the most depressed I had been in my life. I would see my old friends once in a while, but I was alone. Hey guys, I don't know who's gonna watch this. I don't know who guys is, but what's up? It is currently Friday, March 17th of 2023, and I just got my driver's permit, just passed the test. So I just wanted to take a quick video, dude.
Hey YouTube fam, it's Frost Day. This is year number 4. It's November 11th as I'm filming this. It is my birthday. Hey, it's me. I'm back again. We're in year 5, which is crazy because the first time I made a birthday video, I did not expect this to become a yearly tradition. But it did.
I saw my friends maybe once a month, and I had maybe like 4 real friends in my new school I was able to talk to occasionally. I sat alone in the library during lunch, almost always, and tried to stay quiet during classes. If this video wasn't about my journey in transitioning, then I would have liked the takeaway to be avoid being like me during this time. Now, I know I'm making this sound really bad, but I can assure you, my life wasn't lonely all the time. I still had a loving and wonderful online friend group that I spent so much time with outside of school, and it was a good escape. But that's just the problem. I was still escaping, and it took me a pretty long time to understand the gravity of what I was doing to myself. Throughout all this time on my own, I had built up a lot of thoughts and emotions which impacted how I acted. I was honestly starting to become a bit of a dickhead and just being entirely unmotivated to do anything. Long story short, that change in attitude ended up affecting multiple of my relationships, and upon coming face to face with the consequences of my actions is when it dawned on me that I couldn't keep doing this. Not only was suppressing my identity hurting myself, but others too. At this point, it was now 2025, and in the years since I began contemplating my identity, I finally felt like I had the courage to take it a step further. I had kinda eased my way back into using Sadie online as I changed my display name like a couple months prior. People asked me about it. I kinda just said like, oh, it's just there because I like it. Nothing crazy. Until one day, I put out an announcement in my friend group Discord asking them to please drop my legal name and switch to Sadie. And again, they were really positively receptive. I had stuck with a lot of the same friends from before, so they already knew the drill. But there were some friends that I didn't expect to take the change well, and to my surprise, they did. Not because I expected them to be raging homophobes, but just because I had known them for so long and in person that I knew it would be a weird and hard adjustment for them. Luckily, I am blessed to have some of the greatest friends ever, so they had me. This time though, I wasn't going to just be content online like last time. With a newfound confidence in myself, I decided that from then on, I would start growing out my hair, making people in my everyday life more aware, trying more clothes, and overall just putting more effort into my goal. For one of my last English assignments in high school, I wrote a comic to be shared with the whole class. It was titled That Strange Feeling, and it followed this journey in a smaller, more specific time frame. I did it not only because I wanted to express myself, but to help myself feel more comfortable with letting people outside of Discord know. And honestly, it boosted my confidence even further. Everyone had to write little comments/reviews of each other's comics, and people had nothing but positive things to say about mine. They were all very supportive and kind, and it literally made my week. I eventually built up the courage to tell my mom and older brother, and their reactions varied. I don't think I want to go into details about things that were said, but to put it lightly, I don't have a lot of family backing going into transitioning more seriously. But that's kind of okay because let me just say that throughout my life, I have been very fortunate. My family is well off, my stepdad and mom care for me and my brothers deeply, and I have just been given so much. So while it hurts a bit knowing they don't support me like I'd like them to, I appreciate the love I have been given and the fact that I still have a roof over my head. It genuinely makes me feel sick knowing some people get kicked out of their homes over this, or the fear of that is what makes it so they can't speak out. If you are someone in a situation like that, first of all, stay safe, but also, please, please, please keep your friends close. I can't even begin to imagine the horrors of other people's situations and how they vary, but at the very least, know that you are loved. There are people who care about you now, and there will continue to be people who care about you. Please, never give up. You deserve your chance to be happy and to express yourself, but that opportunity will only come if you continue to fight. Or, on the other side of things, if you have a friend who you know is in a bad situation, please look after them. You never know if you are the only person they can rely on. From my own experience, I've helped people through horrible, horrible times, and in turn, they've helped me through mine. We're all in this shit show together, and the most we can do is look out for each other. Propaganda and hate directed towards trans individuals is peaking, and honestly, just the world in general is going downhill. Even besides the topic of this video, we need to be looking out for each other more now than ever. I made this video with a few goals in mind. For anyone who's going through this like I am, I hope someone could relate or even just feel better knowing that there are other people going through this too. Or so that you could look at some of the mistakes that I made and hopefully feel compelled to avoid them if possible. And so we could share. If after watching this video you feel the need to talk about your own experiences, whether they're positive or negative, feel free to do so down below in the comments. I hope this reaches a larger community so we can discuss and help one another. Obviously, don't feel like you need to, only do so if you're comfortable. But now, as of March 2026, while I have been extremely happy and haven't hit a low point like that in a long time, I've hit a wall. Unlike before, where I'd lose all hope at signs of failure, now I'm taking a more positive approach, but it's still challenging. For positives, here's what I look like. Sometimes. Not all the time, but just sometimes. That is a wig, and my hair is slowly but surely inching closer to that length. It's just not quite there yet. Soon I'm gonna get my hair dyed red and black, and when I do, I'm probably gonna do more face cam content because I think I'll feel a little bit more confident then. I'll be moving out for college in September, so I think I'll definitely feel more confident in dressing differently in person once I'm away from my family. But the real wall I've hit is not knowing how to get to the next important steps. I want to start estrogen and such, but I'm a bit lost as I really don't know the pipeline. But what doesn't help my case is that I'm kind of unable to drive, purely out of fear of driving, so I can't really take myself to any doctors. I'm sure I'll figure it out, but maybe I'll continue to update in order to track my progress. We'll see. With all of that said, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I know this isn't my regular kind of video, but I felt almost a need to make this. I want my peers to know, especially at a time like this, that there are other people in this with them. Or if you are just someone from the outside looking in, I still appreciate you stopping by. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll let you finish this run. These Endermen are gonna fucking sell me. Uh-oh. Fuck, dude. I do like when I start a one cycle really awfully and then I like adjust midway. I think that's really good that I do. Because before I would start a one cycle and then I would fuck it up horribly and then I wouldn't adjust, but now I adjust really well. Like I just like calm down for a second. I'm like, okay, just take your time. And then I start nailing the beds. I mean, I should obviously learn how to start not nervous and just get it, first try, but it's good that I adjust.